say, woman told my mother, before I was born, you got a boy child coming, gonna be a rolling stone, gonna make all them women jump and shout, and the world wanna know what it's all about, 'cause I'm here. Everybody knows I am. You know I'm the Hoochie Coochie man. And the whole wide world knows I am. On the seventh hour, on the 7th day, on the 7th people, 7 doctors say he born for good luck, and that's a seed I got. $700 people, don't you mess with me, 'cause I'm here. Everybody knows I am. You know I'm the Hoochie Coochie man. And the whole wide world knows I am. I got a black cap on, I got a mojo too, I got a John the Conqueror, I gonna mess with you, gonna make all you pretty women jump and shout, and the world wanna know what it's all about, 'cause I'm here. Everybody knows I am. You know I'm the Hoochie Coochie man. The whole round world knows I am.
We have an incredibly special guest with us tonight. He's going to come up right now.
David Foster.
And that was the set list, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. There really is, I know James is going to say
you say it first.
There is nobody that did more for James Cotton in the entire northeastern part of the United States than this man was coming up on stage right now. Come on, James.
You know, I was telling this guy earlier, I knew James Cotton since I was 16, but this guy spent so much time with Cotton, and he is the glue that holds the New England music scene together, especially those of us who are blues artists. He's featured every possible musician. The nightclub that he owned, they played Miles Davis, they played Count Basie, they played The Police, they played Aerosmith, they played Bonnie Raitt, they played me, James Cotton, the Fabulous Rhinestones, everybody, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Coco Taylor, Hound Dog Taylor, everybody who came to New England. This guy brought him all up here. He is the godfather of New England blues. The Angels. You all know who he is anyway. I'm even having to introduce him. What's his name? Lefty Foster. Let's think about, and Lefty, before you do your song, and he's in the movie. You'll see him in the movie.
I am?
Of course you're in the movie. What do you think, we spent the day at the Shabu production company just to hang out with you? Come on. So anyway, but there's one story that did make it. You want to tell the breakfast story? Can you?
Oh, you did the story with my father?
No, when you
Oh, at Bill's number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I want to do 2.
Okay. Well, you can't shut this guy up, whatever you do. Okay, Lefty, you got an hour and 20 minutes, go. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing David Lefty Foster. Come on. Stand up for this guy. Come on, stand up.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? How about it for this wonderful ensemble, huh?
I've been called worse.
We all have the same parole officer, so it was an easy thing to put together. But James, and George, and David, and Christine have been great teachers to me in my life in the music world. I learned a lot from every one of the people that are on this stage. So I thank you all for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but what I feel the best about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're noticing it, but this is the first time I don't have to be sitting down.
Yes.
In the 7 years that I'm on stage. And now I'm on the track team. And I'm going to participate in the 440 next year, I hope. But, for so many years, I was wondering if I could get through the gig. And I'd sit in the chair and, I remember having to tell jokes like, I'm so old, I couldn't get laid in a women's prison with a handful of partners. And then I'd say, I have to urinate. Can I come back? That's what I had to do to just get through a night because I would run out of breath. I could, I'd have to take a break before, in between the songs. But somehow I got through it, you know what I mean? So it feels so good to be standing up. And anyway, this story about James. It was an all-night eatery that was on Main Street in Willimantic called Bill's Number 7. And it was run by this great man who ran it single-handedly. He took all the orders, he did all the cooking. He never wrote anything down. And when the bars would end up, when Shabu was done at the end of the night, and all the other bars would close, this place was jammed. People came, it was like a religious stop. Let's go to Bill's after the club closes. Anyway, one night Cotton was smoking many joints, drinking a lot of Budweisers, and then went, "Cool breeze. I'm hungry, man. Let's go get some eggs and, ham and eggs. There's a place, right?" I went, "I got the place for you, So we got on to Bill's Number 7. He's got on his dungaree studded jacket with the rhinestones, and he's got the gold teeth and the freckles and the big sideburns. So the old man that's running the place goes down the counter and said, "What would you like?" And, "Well, I want, 2 eggs, over easy, some home fries, large coffee, blah, blah." "What do you want, Then he gets to Cotton, and he just looks at Cotton, and Cotton's eyes look like the street map of Philadelphia. They were so bloodshot. And Cotton's got this smile on his face, and he's looking at old man Joe Corsi, and Joe just starts smirking before he even asks him what he wants to eat. He's going, this guy's going to be a live one, right? He goes, what do you want to eat? And James Cotton goes, I want 2 eggs over easy, cooked in the pan so it won't be greasy. I want a tag of steak on the left-hand plate, and if you ain't got it, go out and get it, because I ain't leaving till you get back with it. Bedlam ensues. Joe goes crazy. He's laughing like, I've never seen him laugh like this, because he's usually a dead serious cat, Listen, he was so serious, you made your own change at the end, as you were paying to get out. And he'd look at your egg-stained, plate and tell you what you had. You had 2 whatchamacallits and a it said $3.75, and a what is $4 1/4. And if you challenged him, he'd go double or nothing. This guy was a character, man. But he loved Cotton. That's my first story. The second story was, I'm part of a second-generation musician family. My mother and father fell in love, got married. They were famous singers. They had a big band. They had an 18-piece band. They toured with Harry James. They toured with the Dorseys. They had a serious thing going on. And they played all the big summer places like Canopy Lake. Those were the plays in those days. Hampton Beach. Those were all the stops where you went and played. What was the big one in Maine, though, that used to play? You used to play at James there with all the amusements. Anyway, right on the coast. Anyway, they played them all. So, they would come see, my mother and father would come see the Cotton Band at the club, because my mother loved blues and swing, and my father loved the swing stuff, My father was a baritone like I am. I was lucky I got their voice. So anyway, Cotton's band would just devastate my parents. They loved it. So my father said to me one night, he goes, the next day, I went to see my father in his office, he goes, that Cotton's a character. He goes, why don't you invite him to supper? Maybe he'll come. You think he'd ever come eat supper with us at the house? I went, he loves you, Dad. He goes, he doesn't even know me. I said, no, well, he respects you. He knows who you are. We love that. He goes, well, see what night he wants to do it, and then let us know, and we'll have him over. So it was Thursday when I told him. He goes, how about tomorrow? So Friday night comes along, and James shows up for supper at the house. So we would always stand, up and wait till Phyllis, my stepmother, would put all the food on the table before we'd all sit down, and we waited for her to sit down. And Cotton's watching, and he's standing up and just keeping an eye on everything, and then he'd watch us sit down, so he'd sit down. And then all of a sudden, my father goes, we don't say grace or anything, just, let's eat, let's have fun, So Cotton has this big smile on his face, and the food's going around the table, and all of a sudden he says to my father, he says to me, he goes, oh, Cool Breeze, can you pass the potatoes? My father says to Cotton, he goes, excuse me, what'd you call my son? Cool Breeze. I named him that. I named him Cool Breeze. I named him Cool Breeze. And my father starts to smile that was so big and so bright. He was just elated. He loved it, right? Anyway, the next day I went to visit him after the whole thing was over. And I walked into his office, and he went, cool. Anyway, what I want to tell you is he lived 30 more years, my father. He never called me David again for the rest of my life. I mean, no matter when he had dementia, he was suffering. He couldn't remember, what day it was. Because I'd go to see him every day, I'd walk in and go, cool, what's happening? Take me to Dairy Queen. I'll get a soft serve ice cream because I can't eat the Friendlies anymore. I spill it all over my chest. But I wanted to share that with you. Isn't that a nice story about James? Yeah. Now, James also took me to Atlanta, Georgia for a week with a band on his bus. And we were crossing the Fox Theater. He played Alex Cooley's Electric Ballroom. It was a very famous place. He bought me a suite. I mean, he was just so sweet to me. He let me open 100 nights to him. I mean, we were just buddies. We just loved each other. We cared about him. And then when I had my tour bus, I said, you know, James, I want to give you this tour bus because I know how much you love tour buses. But I'm afraid that if I give it to you, you won't be my friend anymore because when they break, they cost a lot of money to fix. And they cost a lot of money just to tow them off the highways. So I said, I think I'm doing you a favor to not give you the bus, you know. And Jackie, of course, his wife at the time, went, good idea, cool breeze. We'll fly. I got him on the airplanes now. We'll just let him fly. But isn't that nice, you know? Yeah, so I mean, some of the nice stories, you know.
David Foster, ladies and gentlemen.
But now I'm feeling so good, man. I'm standing up, I can sing, you know. I mean, my sex life is back. I'm 72, man. No, really, man. I make love almost 5 times a week. Almost on Monday, almost on Tuesday, almost on Wednesday, almost on Thursday, and almost on Friday. What do you think, huh? Ready to rock? You guys want to hear some blues? Let me hear you say yeah. I can't hear you. Let me hear you say yeah. All right, we're going to do one in the key of C. I was going to do it B flat, but Montgomery doesn't have a B flat and harmonica. So we're going to go to C. Can you roll in that key?
I can roll in C as well as anyone else on the stage.
Yes, you
I
can.
bet you can, man. A 1, a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.